Sorry about that. Shalom, shalom. Just finished walking my dog. Come in here, have a quick message for everyone that I want to give. Most definitely got to give thanks to the Most High for being able to deliver this message. Most definitely. Lawadah Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, Uvain, Barakatah, Ruach Kodesh. Edlo Yakrat Latir. All my heart. Most definitely. Like I said before, just wanted to reach out on two different occasions or on two different subjects. First of all, it's snowing out here, so I want everybody to be safe out here in these streets while you're traveling. The streets are becoming impassable, meaning that, it's hard to maneuver out there, so don't be out there in a car with four wheels acting like you're on a jet ski. All right, that's not good for, physical health. All right, so with that being said, we going into 2022, and 2022 is telling me that I'm receiving from the Ruach Kodesh in order to prepare for, what's coming up, because we done went through 2020, which ended or started off horribly. Now we went through 2021, and things loosened up a bit, but then it got back tight again. And now we're headed into 2022, and we see that, this plague or whatever's running rampant on our earth is, it's making a comeback. And in these days, basically, you just want to prepare, because no man knoweth when the Savior or the Father is going to return. No man knoweth. No man knoweth when Yahweh Shah is going to return. You get a lot of individuals trying to predict that, but all right, and I'm not trying to sway my lesson or my information that I want to share today with individuals. Today is more so going, I guess, psychologically, because both of them can be compared psychologically. You get psychologists that believe that there's no such thing as spirits, ghosts, and demons and different things like that. But when you go to the word says differently. The word tells us that, a spirit ascended from heaven. Okay, so basically that debunks anything that, or any body or literature that could come up with, because I follow the word of the Father, most definitely, in our holy Bibles or our holy, his holy language, his holy literature, put it like that. All right. So now we're going into a different time frame of year where we can be affected by different spirits that may be projected by other people onto us. Such as, you could get an individual that might go around and they preach the spirit of happiness, mischievous, or being mischievous, or angry, mad, sad, emotions, period. And with that being said, I want to take a little look at what I was looking at earlier. And it says, the word spirit is the usual translation of the Hebrew word Ruach. Ruach. Kodesh means blessed. The word what? Oh, and of the Greek word, and I'm not trying to read that word because I don't read Greek. Word that. This article treats of the various meaning and usages of these terms in their original context under three main headings. But we'll only go over, I guess, the first two, because they're the most important. In the Old Testament, in late Judaism, and then in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, under the first heading, Ruach will be considered as life breath, as the seat of human experience, in its opposition to flesh. And I'm getting this information from the off of encyclopedia.com. I don't know if you can see that, but if you can see encyclopedia.com. All right, Ruach as the breath of life, or life breath. The basic meaning of Ruach in the Old Testament is breath or wind, and by extension, it came to mean the breath as signifying life and thence spirit, mind, and life principles. Spirit, mind, and life principles in creatures with lungs. And I guess the mental capacity in order to decipher between the three. Breathing is a natural sign of life, and in many languages, the term connoting physical death takes on the meaning of what it signifies. Let me start over. In the Old Testament, is breath or wind, and by extension, it came to mean the breath of as signifying life, and thence spirit, mind, and life's principles. So it's four: spirit, life, mind, and then life's principles. In creatures with lungs, breathing is a natural sign of life, and in many languages, the term connoting physical breath takes on the meaning of what it signifies, life. So in Hebrew, Ruach came to mean breath as significative of life in men, from Genesis 6, verse 17. Ezekiel 37:10 also shows this example of it meaning those. And in animals, it is often used in synonymous parallelism with breath of life from Genesis 2:7. And throat open to breathe, thence life, seat of emotions, self or person. And you'll see an example of that from Judges chapter 15, verse 19. And then in Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 11, and so on. The absence of Ruach connotes that lack of virtual force, meaning that it's an object. This can't breathe, therefore it's not alive. So therefore it's called what's an inanimate object. Since the Father is the life giver, life breathes, breath comes from him, and man lives as long as the Father's breath remains in him. That's from Jacob 27:3, Isaiah 42:5, and Ezekiel 12:1. When the Father withdraws his breath, man and all flesh return to the ground. Psalms 145, Psalms 146, and etc. During man's existence, life breath may wax or wane, meaning that it can go away, it can perish, or it can be in limbo. It's you're not dead yet, but you're not alive and you're not dead. All right. Ruach as the seat of human experience. This use is frequent Hebrew awareness of the concrete observed that strong feelings affected respirations, thus dejections, sadness, astonishment, anger, patience, pride are all expressed by corresponding changes in a man's breath. And keep in mind, you have Ruach, breath, Ruach, breath, Ruach, breath. So now we done tied the Ruach into the spirit, a person's emotional being, and in his existence and his experiences through particular things. Changes in a man's breath. And you'll find that in 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 5, 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 15, and then etc. Ruach is then subject to human emotion and good and evil habits, familiar spirits, good and evil habits. The modern and Western concept of spirit fits this situation, but only in a very extended acceptance of the world, meaning that if you're a believer or not in the word. Then it goes into the nature of the Old Testament. I'll read this. To arrive at a common notion of Ruach from its concept, particularized use is a very difficult task. One may, however, conclude to at least this common theological notion that transcends its merely physical usage, that it comes from the Father as the creator, living or life-giving, superhumanized force that's giving us the energy. It's putting out the different energies or the different spirits, or it's giving out different life, breath. All right, that it comes from, okay, it's extraordinarily infused with characterized the messianic age, and will make men share in physical charismatic gifts. Most of all, it will create a new alliance and become an interior source of justice and peace in man's heart throughout the ministry of the Messiah, who will transmit it to his, faithful followers. So basically, when the Messiah was actually out and Yahweh Shah was actually out running around and giving up or speaking the word of the Father, which was him, basically he came in the volume of the book. So basically he was out giving out different testimonies as to say that the spirit of lust don't follow after it. The spirit of fear ye not. The spirit of hunger, gluttony, all of these are particular spirits. Now, when it comes down to the familiar spirits are the ones that basically their habits. These particular feelings. A familiar spirit maybe to go and drink. And it's funny how they associate drinking with spirits, because it opens up that person's, makes them more receptive to being influenced by whatever spirit is being projected. Let's say if I'm inside of a room, and then I come inside the room, I'm inside of a room already. And then while I'm in that room, I may be praying. So my mind is at, then let's say during this particular prayer, I'm just praying for serenity. So I'm trying to reach a statute of peace in my mind. So basically, while I'm praying for serenity, let's say I get somebody else that comes in and they're playing, I won't say that one, hands on my knees, shaking it. It's like, no, I'm not gonna say that. But they come in and they start singing a provocative type of song. Provocative, meaning this ain't for kids, so I'm sure a lot of you adults should know what provocative means. Flirtatious, slutty, anyway. So when that person comes in with that provocative spirit, then next thing you know, I start to, or it may cast itself onto me depending on how I'm going to receive that spirit. We all transmitters. We receive these particular energies. So basically my awareness, my consciousness, my spirit of my person, my being, whether it's happy, sad, or I'm running around mean, or murderous, and different, characteristics that could actually affect the individual. Basically, it's my frame of mind of what I'm able, or what I'm willing to receive from this other individual coming in, trying to cast his spirit upon me. Let's say if he comes in and casting a spirit of hate, which I know we all, could deal with, or we all know, we're familiar with that one. That's another familiar spirit, hate, because once you see it, you recognize it. There's no hiding it at all. So basically, when if that person projects that particular spirit upon another individual, it's up to that individual to receive it. Now, automatically, like the word says, you can't control your spirit. If you get scared, then you get scared. But then you have to pray for peace. Whatever spirit that you feel is trying to affect you, or infect you, then you can pray against those particular type of spirits. And then with the people, or with the chosen ones, or the ones that's actually righteous and they follow the righteous path, whatever spirit a person tries to project upon them, it won't affect them. They'll hear it. They'll hear it, but a part of their being and the Father's divinity actually just ricochet and make it go somewhere totally different, to where it had no effect on the person. The person felt it, but it didn't. He felt it, but it didn't infect him. And I use that correctly. It didn't infect him. It didn't change or sway the way that he's thinking. He's still feeling the spirit of joy, the spirit of happiness, the spirit of just being in existence, or what have you, or whatever that particular spirit that's controlling that particular individual. That's why you hear me say a lot of the times, I follow the spirit of the Ruach Kodesh, the blessed spirit, the Holy Spirit. I go to the Father, Yahweh's word, and then it helps me to clarify if I'm feeling a certain kind of way, or if I just need to know something, or something that needs to manifest within me to be able to refute or combat the different spirits that I may encounter. All right. So basically, with that being said, throughout this particular time, we have individuals that's dealing with death in their families. They're dealing with homelessness. They're dealing with financial issues, health complications, and all. So with that being said, I just want to send out, my heart to those particular individuals and let them know you're not alone in this. It's other people out here. It's other people out here that are going through stuff. I may not have heart conflict or any health complications, but I can relate to you losing a loved one. I may not have, my lights may be on, but I can relate to a person being lonely. Hey, it happens. Those are spirits that are cast. So therefore, when you change the frequency of that spirit that's trying to infect you or affect you, it changes it to something totally different. You could get up in the morning time and not feeling like, the world is down. I miss this person. I love that person. But it's all in what you feel and you channel and you wish to keep. The key word is wish to keep. That's why a lot of times when, I lost my Libra baby or lady, a lot of people was telling me, man, you just need to get out of the house. You just need to get out of the house. You just need to get out of the house. You need to get out of the house. During that time, I'm thinking like, man, there's no other place where I want to be than in the house, under the house crying. I'm hurt, right? So then after a little bit, I figured out I'll just take my daughter and son, or sons, because I was taking care of 3 kids by myself, my daughter and my 2 sons. Most definitely my older of the 3. He basically was a big help to me. He helped me be aware of a lot of different things. And, he's one of the reasons as to why I'm sitting here today in front of you. And I like to thank a lot of my family members for that. Some family members for that. And then most definitely the ones that reached out and showed, if they couldn't be by my side to hold my hand, then they showed in different ways in order to calm that hurt spirit that I had. So basically going out, visiting parks, taking my daughter and sons to the playground and doing different things with that, going to the wharf, picking up seafood and different things of that nature. I started to see exactly what they were talking about. Basically different spatial things that they were stimulants to my spirit to help break my sadness. I found myself at times forgetting that I was sad. Really, forgetting that I was sad. So I looked through the blessings that the Father, that Yahweh has blessed me with all around me that I didn't see at that particular time. And we all don't. When we're going through something, we only see what we're going through. We don't stop to look at the blessings. Many of us, we don't look at the blessings. We only look at and focus on what we're going through at that moment. And trust me, I've been through a lot of stuff. throughout my life to where I can bear witness to a lot of different things. A lot of individuals may not give me credit for it. Then a lot of individuals, if you really know me, can give me credit for it. You know, I've always been an alpha male, always. Never ran around with my butt hanging out talking about I'm trying to be cool with my pants hanging down to the back of my knees. Never did that, not even as a youngin'. So basically, overlooking our blessings that we have, we tend to stay stuck in that receptive moment of pain, hurt, sorrow, worry, fear. And we forget that it's a higher energy up there above. It's Yahweh, he's sitting right there. He said, go ahead and revert to my son. So that way it can bring you out of your sadness. If you're lost, if you're lonely, you're hurt, go to my son, to the word, Yahweh Shai. For Yahweh is salvation. You know, so basically stay safe out here throughout these particular times. If you need to talk, if you have my cell phone number, then I guess you could text me, message me, or whatever. That's if you know, if you really know me. And if not, just like I said before, like, subscribe. Always please leave a comment. I care to like to know what individuals think sometimes. And most definitely, if I can help you with in any type of way with something with the word that I might be able to say, then most definitely I will do that for you. I will take the time in order to do that, in order to clarify that. And I have some individuals that tune into my videos that do call me and they have particular questions and I help with those questions. I also make videos on pertaining to whatever or questions that they have and answering their questions with clarity. And again, like I said before, when you're dealing with different negative spirits, try to produce a frequency or a vibe to where you can start to generate positive spirits, happiness, joy, humor, love, most especially love. So with that, I like to say, I'm gonna keep this short. This wasn't a real lesson. I just wanted to reach out, like I said before, the Ruach Kodesh just led me to reach out and talk to individuals in order, I guess someone needed this message. And most definitely, if you have health complications, financial issues, or anything that's particularly troubling you, if you leave me a comment, basically, I'll pray for you. I most definitely will pray for you in the name of the Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. May the Ruach bless you. May the Ruach keep you. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and close out with Tada Rabah Yahweh, Atik Yamin, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Uvain Barakata Ruach HaKodesh, Etlo Yakarat Latir, with all my heart. Most definitely, y'all stay blessed and stay at peace, and most definitely stay prayed up.